What was that?
The moon.
Oh yeah. Okay, if you place yourself like in the middle of the thing.
All right, how's this?
That's perfect, Mr. Dave. Would you tell us a little bit about who you are, where we are, and what are we doing?
Sure. Welcome to Space Center Houston. We're at Space University right now. My name's Dave Brown. And I'm a senior instructor here at Space University. What the students are doing right now is a journey to Mars. They're in the process right now working on their robotics because now that they've built a rocket, they've built their habitat, now they're taking the surface of Mars and actually traversing it right now with the rover itself. The build is not as easy as it seems because what their goal is to pick up rocks on the surface of Mars and then take and identify what these rocks are. The purpose of going to Mars is to learn about Mars, learn about the geology of Mars, so we want the students to do the same thing. Treat the surface as if you don't know anything about it. It's the first time you see it. When you see it, then identify it from what you know from geology. Now, in the situation for today, we also did some robotic coding. Coding basically is a really interesting thing because now we want your robot to work by itself, autonomously. We don't want a remote control on it. We want it to do what you plan for it to do, just like NASA does. When NASA builds robots, everything is programmed so that the rover is basically doing the work that's been programmed by NASA engineers. Now, if there's glitches or problems, that's when NASA has to look at those from the view that they get, especially from the cameras that we see. InSight's a perfect example. We get to see this beautiful picture of Mars, but now we're expecting the rover to do what it's supposed to do based on the programming that was done. So the students are getting that same understanding from the engineering aspect that rovers are one thing. Coding them and making them do something is completely different because they don't always do what you think they're supposed to do because you are the one doing the programming. The rover only does what you say. It doesn't do anything on its own. It doesn't have a memory. That's the kind of fun that they're having today at Space University.
You have some pretty international crowd, some students from different countries. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, it was kind of interesting too because this is supposed to be an international program. So what you're looking at is you have groups from Malaysia, we have the groups from Colombia, we have the groups from Spain. So it's given them the opportunity to do international work. They're collaborating and working together, they're looking at other people's ideas and realizing that those are great ideas. Maybe I should utilize them as well. When you go on the International Space Station, it works the same way. You have countries that are working together for one goal, and that's to better mankind and support the Earth itself.
Wait, could we do the student part again? But no hagas porque si no se escucha. Bueno?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
So we're talking about the students themselves that are here. It's really great because we have groups from Malaysia, we have students from Spain, we also have students from Colombia. What makes that a really great thing is now these three countries are working simultaneously together to come up with this permanent goal of going to Mars, engineering what it takes to get to Mars. And that's what the students are doing right now. With the collaboration that they get to work on, they look at their different projects, and maybe the team from Spain, for example, may have a great idea. So maybe the team from Malaysia says, hey, that's not a bad idea. Maybe we should incorporate that as part of our habitat or part of our robotic build. What you find out is you're getting a collaboration of minds working together from three different countries.
I find it pretty interesting that students would choose to come thousands of miles all the way here to NASA. Why do you think that is, Mr. Dave?
Well, one of the biggest curiosities that anyone has is what is NASA? What does NASA do? We hear so much, we see so much on television, but what is NASA? Well, when you come to Space Center University, you get the better of two worlds. One, you get to be that engineer. You get to do that creative design. You get to do that critical thinking. But then what we do is we give you that one more step. We take you to NASA. We want you to see mission control. We want you to see where the astronauts train for their missions. We want you to see how they train to do spacewalks. We want to put the student in the position of being that astronaut or that engineer.
What would you say, Mr. Dave, that is the most important things that students take back home with them from the program?
I think it's the communication and the collaboration. I think when you think about individualism, which is what most of us do, we are always thinking about ourselves. But then when you start thinking about working in a company like NASA, you're now working in a team. It's not an individual, it's a teamwork aspect.
There you go. Would you invite people over to join the program, please, Mr. Dave?
Absolutely. And in fact, what I say to everyone is, if you've ever had that curiosity, you want to know what it felt like to be an engineer, what it felt like to possibly be an astronaut, or just to work on space exploration, this program is going to give you that opportunity to literally get your hands in the mix and do the actual work. It's not a lecture, it's not something that you're sitting there reading a textbook, you're doing it hands-on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dave.
My pleasure.